Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for Fool's Gold, and as you can see for the Fool's Gold I am covering the race swapped Jimmy Olsen's Super Encyclopedia. Now if you're new to Fool's Gold, I do cover the art and how much I believe it's worth, or I cover the actual cover and how much I believe it's worth, along with the cover itself. Along with the art itself, and then there's how much I believe the story is worth. Of course, there's a bit of a total for the artist as well as the writer, but seeing that this is a free gift that was given out on the Superman Day over the weekend, I can't really throw it anywhere in the currency conversion, can I? But I can still give a review of what I actually think of it towards the end. So starting off with first things first, and that is the area of the cover. Does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Well, with race swap Jimmy Olsen it is, but the fact that he's race swapped, I give it a 0 out of 10. And yeah, we don't need a race swap Jimmy Olsen unless you're a racist writing a race swap Jimmy Olsen. So let's move into the area of the internal art and what's happening story-wise with the characters as we have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end. Oh, and for the cover, because it's a 0 out of 10, it's worth $0 and 0 cents in Australian dollars. Moving into the internal art as we have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end. And first thing to point out, this is not Jimmy Olsen. They want you to believe it's Jimmy Olsen, but how about they create a new character? You know, maybe you could create this as Jimmy Olsen's understudy and give him a different name. You know, it would make a little bit more sense instead of race swapping Jimmy Olsen. And as you can see in the first page here, we're given the Justice League, and of course, none of those characters are race swapped. So if they choose not to race swap any of these characters, well, it shouldn't happen to Jimmy Olsen either. Because you're just fridging the original Jimmy Olsen and replacing him with a blackie, or someone black. Nothing against black characters. I think there are some great black characters in the DC universe as well as the Milestone universe. Like Static Shock rocks. Let's not forget, I think it's Hardware. I think it is. He's sort of like, what's the word? If, what's the name I'm thinking of? If Tony Stark was black and almost looked as if he was on steroids. And then there's Icon. Now, there's one actor that I think would be perfect for the character of Icon, and he actually starred in the Naomi series, and I thought he was great. Then we've got Mr. Terrific and many other amazing characters that are black. We can't forget John Henry Irons. I'm surprised that they didn't even use John Henry Irons for this, because even John Henry Irons would know of, guess who? The original Jimmy Olsen. Of course, with the story continuing, we get quite a list of events that take place. I'm surprised that not even Vicky Vale is in this, because I think that would be really good too to add in this. Like, you could even make this person an understudy to maybe Vicky Vale. Of course, we've got Toy Boy, aka Slash the Toy Man, who is meant to be a villain of Superman. One thing this is something I do actually like in the story, is where you get the profiles of the character. Now, this is something I do think actually stands out, not only in the art, but also the story itself. It's probably the best thing about this particular story. And as you can see there, we get to see the characters again. Until we also learn of a Sinestro version of the Encyclopedia. So something that covers the topics of the Green Lanterns, or should we say the Lantern Corps. And I wouldn't be surprised if they actually bring out maybe one like this, but covering Sinestro. So, for the internal art, I give it a 5 out of 10, to which I believe it's actually worth about $1. That's right, $1. Next is the area of the story. Starting with first things first, do we get anything addressing it time-wise when it's taking place? Nah, we don't. We're too lazy for that. Because the writer's too much of a racist to focus everything on a black Jimmy Olsen. Yeah, just Fridgegate 2.0. Next is the locations. We don't really get a lot of locations, all except maybe an arcade. Next is the cast of characters, to which we get to see Batman, Aquaman, Superman, Flash, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, of course Starro, Martian Manhunter. I'm surprised Mr. Terrific wasn't in here. Of course, Toyman. And about the only thing I give the story is a 1 out of 10, which I believe it's worth about 50 cents. Race swapping characters only shows how racist you are, not how the audience is. And for the overall total for the artist, it's $1. The overall total for the writer, 50 cents. Actually, I should have made it 25 cents, so it would have been about 20. Yeah, who cares? Overall amount is $1.50. My overall result with this thing, burn it with fire. I mean it. Burn this thing with fire. Literally. There should be no need for race swapping of characters in the DC universe. You could have even pulled someone from one of the different multiverses that could have been black and used that character to do this super encyclopedia. It would make more sense, seeing it does actually use the term multiverse. Well, until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.